Larry Jeffrey was a 6-year-old boy who went to Mount Charleston for a picnic with his dad, stepmother, and 2 of his stepbrothers, both under age 10, in May of 1966. Larry was partially disabled and had difficulty hearing from birth. On May 28, Larry was playing with his stepbrothers walking uphill when they saw a pile of snow. Larry wanted to get there and asked the other 2 if they wanted to come with him. The other 2 stated their parents told them not to go there. At 1:30 p.m., the boys were ready to get back to their parents when Larry one last time asked the other 2 if they wanted to go to the pile of snow. Again, his stepbrothers reminded him the parents told them not to. Larry ignored the 2 and started walking uphill towards the snow. The 2 brothers returned back to their parents and told them Larry refused to come back. The parents immediately went to the area where Larry was last seen, but they couldn't find him. They looked around and after not having any luck, they contacted US Forest Service. Within hours, hundreds of searchers were combing the area. The US Forest Service assured the parents there were no predators in the area where Larry was lost, at least none that they were aware of. Bloodhound dogs were brought into the scene and they tracked the boy's scent for 7 to 10 miles, losing him on the shale rock. After a while, the search was reorganized around an area called Camp Bonanza, which is very rough and has lots of caves. They searched the area but found nothing. It's worth mentioning, as soon as the search started, a heavy rain hit the area, following with extreme cold weathers. Searchers found the 6-year-old footprints in the snow near the top of the mountains. Larry's real mother came to the area and was flying over the area in a helicopter calling his son's name. After 2 weeks of searching, which involved over 1,000 searchers, the county sheriff terminated the search. Larry Jeffrey was never found. On October 4, 2005, at around 5:30 p.m., 2-year-old Tristan Owens was playing in the yard with his Jack Russell Terrier as his mother was watering the plants. During this time, his mother left Tristan for just 1 to 2 minutes to bring a watering can. When she came back, Tristan was gone along with his dog. Mrs. Owens started looking for the 2 in the immediate area but found nothing. At that point, she called the police and a search was started. 1 hour after Mrs. Owens called the police, Tristan's Jack Russell dog returned back to the residence without Tristan. There is a huge river that runs in the northern territory of the city. On the first night that Tristan went missing, 2 searchers were combing an area when suddenly they heard the howling of a coyote followed by a scream of a child. The 2 started walking towards the sound in dense fog and heavy bush when they heard another scream and a howling. The 2 saw coyotes walking around as if they were stalking something, so they followed some of them in hope of finding the 2-year-old. As they were walking, suddenly they heard a child saying, "Will you take me home?" It was Tristan. He was standing under the limbs of a broken tree. Tristan had scrapes on his face, legs and arms. His clothes were also torn. His mother stated Tristan didn't say much about his trip. He only said when he woke up he was in the woods. It's not clear why the dog returned without Tristan, which is not usual for a family dog to do. We will never know what went on during Tristan's trip. 74-year-old Patricia Wallace lived in Lafayette, Colorado. On July 3rd, 2012, she was invited by some friends to join them for a 4th of July weekend in the Indian Peaks wilderness. Patricia was a retiree. She was a very experienced hiker and was in excellent shape. She looked very healthy and people would assume she was in her 50s. Patricia drove to the friends and they started their hike. The group started hiking towards Buchanan Pass, which was 9 miles east of Monarch Lake. The group reached the area and after spending some time there, they decided to return to their cars. All the people in the group took a specific route to their cars, but Patricia told them she was going to take an easier route and left the group by herself. When she left the group, it was 1:30 p.m. There are dozens of lakes in this area and there are mostly barren, exposed rocks with few trees. Patricia left the group knowing she was supposed to meet them at 4 p.m. at their cars. Patricia never arrived. Soon, a search effort was organized. Helicopters and canine dogs along with volunteers came to the scene. Canines didn't pick up a scent and helicopters saw nothing. The search continued for a week and got terminated. Searchers didn't find a single piece of evidence that Patricia was ever on the mountains. The hike to their cars from the spot they left Patricia is an easy 6 miles downhill. There were some unconfirmed reports that some saw Patricia walking in the opposite direction of where the cars were located. What happened to Patricia remains a mystery to this day.